Hey everyone, welcome to another Painting with Jay. As always, my name is Jay, so grab a brush, grab some models, grab some paints, paint along with me, let's rid our worlds of unpainted models together. Today I'm going to be working on some orcs. Why? Just wanted to paint orcs. I'll talk about it after, but I was in the mood to paint orcs. So I figured, might as well paint something that I'm passionate about. So I'm going to work on some Ork Nobs, and I have some Burnham Boys for later as well, but I'm going to finish the knobs today. So yeah, and we'll talk about our weeks and stuff. Let's get started. Yes. And as always, this video is brought to you by my Patreon subscribers who are responsible for help making my free content. So if you'd really like to go check it out, go check out the link in the description below for my Patreon campaign. Let's get started painting. Yes. Hey everyone, so today I'll be working on some knobs. I'm just cleaning up my workshop right over the last week or so, and it's still a little bit messy, but it's getting organized. Yeah, and my palette is a little gross right now, so I'm just going to adjust it while I'm talking to you. You know what? It'll be okay. So today I'm going to be working on these knobs. Now, as I was cleaning out my workshop, and I found a box of bits, and I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood to build some stuff for orcs. So I took all the bits, and I was able to put together a bunch of stuff, including, I did have to disassemble a couple boys to make these, but I built a squad of 10 Burnham Boys, complete with it includes 8 Burnham Boys and 3 mechs with custom Mega Blastas. So that's not bad. And then I used bits from boys as well. Like these guys are the knob legs, the bodies of just normal boys, and I used different arms and heads and stuff, and I added some spiky shoulder pads just to add size to them, to make them more knob sized, which is cool. I wanted more knobs. I figured a knob squad, and plus I have been really looking at the Wagoscall supplement, which I tried this week in a battle report. The battle report won't be out for a little while, probably a few weeks. A new battle report actually went out this week, and I'm able to get back into my editing for my battle reports. And it was a really good battle report. I'll talk about that after, but it was brought by Henry. It was brought to you by Henry. So yeah, I've tried Wagoscall. Now the problem with Wagoscall, which is exactly what I found, was it is really hard to run at 1,500 points. I typically film battle reports at 1,500 because that's a good size for a battle report. Now, Wagoscall is such an expensive supplement for points. I mean, it is just stupidly expensive. There's 2 different core choices, and if you decently size them out, one of them's like 700 and the other one's like 1,100 points. I wonder what that was. So, yeah, like 1,100 points for the core. So there's really not much points that you have to spare to do the other cool things for the supplement. And the problem, as I said, the cool part is the other things in the supplement, right? You're just choosing core choices. And there's the Council of the Great Wa, right? Which is really cool, but again, stupidly expensive. It has Goscal Thraka, who alone is like 200 and something points, right? Mad Doc Grotznik, which brings the total up to like 400 points almost. 2 war bosses, a squad of knobs, right? This is really expensive. And they all have to be one squad. So I really want to try it out. I'm going to try it on a bigger game. I know my friend Stu, he's an orc player too. And I'm going to refocus this because I guess it's a little out of focus. There we go. Stu has been trying out Wagoscall and having some fun with it too. It's a fun supplement, I think. It's not the most competitive, because it forces you to take giant squads of boys, and boys are not the most competitive thing in the codex, right? They're not. Boys are pretty weak, but they're fun. It's a fun codex, and I had a great time, a great game against Dave. It was Orcs versus Admech, and I'm really happy he brought Admech because they ended up being a very, very balanced, probably our most balanced battle report ever. So it was a great game. Stay tuned for that. It'll be out in a few weeks. But yeah, we also tried out the new cards. There's the new Tactical Objectives deck. And to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of it. There are a couple things that were really cool about it, but I prefer the real deck, the normal decks, because it seemed like most of the cards, Dave and I would look at each other and be like, well, neither of us can do anything with that. Neither of us can do anything with that. Neither of us can do anything with that. Like, half the cards are, well, not half the cards, a good chunk of the cards are like, steal an objective, but it's a specific objective. It would be like, it was like storm objective 2, which meant you had to have your opponent on objective 2 at that time, and then you had to take it from him. That is really I understand, like, it adds a new layer, but it's too circumstantial, right? Because it's just way too, like, again, if you get the card in a normal game, secure objective 2, you can jump on objective 2 and you get the points, right? It may not be the most tactical decision for the outcome of the game, but you get points out of it, right? Because you're trying to get the points in the game. But you might be forfeiting, your shooting phase, or, and you have to run. But this particular one, you have to get, you get the card storm objective 2, and most of, like, it never happened. Every time we got a storm objective card, the opponent wasn't on that objective. And if your opponent wasn't on that objective, you can't get the point, because you have to steal that objective from your opponent, right? And right now, by the way, I'm using Kelton Brown. I'm using my old paints. I found them while cleaning up, and I'm like, you know what? I might as well use these up while painting my Ork boys, because that's why I bought them originally. And the thing is, they kept. We switched to the new Citadel paints years ago, and these paints are still keeping. They're really nice. I like them. So I'm just using my normal tabletop level, which, as you can see, it's coming along. I don't know what I'm going to do with this claw. Maybe brass and metal combined. I ran out of the claw blade, so I used swords. That was kind of my thing. So I'll paint the swords up, make them look cool. So that's the biggest problem, was that it was way too weirdly circumstantial. It was just like, or the other ones are like, guard the objective for 2 turns. So you're like, okay. But you have to be willing to then to throw away a unit. And most of the time, we just didn't have a unit to spare that you could throw on top of an objective for 2 turns. And then if that's the case, your opponent, all they have to do is knock that squad off the objective. Which, that one isn't as bad, I found. But just was silly. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll pick them up. I just didn't like them as much as the normal objectives. The normal objectives are more fun. Yeah. Yeah. So right now I'm just painting these guys with Kelton Brown. And today will be fun. I'm gonna get as much done on these knobs as I can. I'll have them done before next week, and then maybe next week I'll work on my Burna Boys if I'm not done them yet. I'm getting back into painting, and I think I missed a spot on them. Speaking of missing a spots, Adam, I think you missed a spot. Cody Roo, you also missed a spot. Yeah, there we go. What was it saying? Yeah. So, it was a great battle report, tons of fun. And I'm getting back into painting, and that's kind of cool, because that to me is a sign that things are getting back kind of the way they were. I'm getting back into my groove again, because I haven't really wanted to paint a lot in a while. And then I really want to paint these boys, or these orcs. So I figured, you know what? I know I'm working on AdMech at the moment, and AdMech is fun, but not like I'll have an AdMech army for the next few weeks anyway to play with. And I just really wanted to paint some boys or some orcs, and if I wanted to, I might as well paint them, right? Because anything to give yourself the motivation to get the work done. And if one specific group of models is calling to you, do it. Because then you paint them and you feel good about it, and then you keep going and working on other models, right? Yeah, these knobs really have character. I really like the fact that, I just kit bashed the thing about orc bits. You can really kit bash anything. I'm not a really big kit basher. My friends, Cody Rue and Mike are really big kit bashers, but I had fun just putting these guys together, making them look cool. I got to sneeze in a second. Bless you. Yeah. But it was fun putting these orc boys together. Or these knobs. Which I figured I need another knob squad anyway. I have a couple, but an extra one doesn't hurt. More knobs never hurts. I have enough boys, I think. Well, I don't know. Can you ever really have enough boys? Some people would argue no. But I have, I don't know, 160. So, not, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll pick up eventually the start collecting orcs again box. Start collecting orcs, not again, the start collecting orcs box. Because it comes with a Def Dread, which I could use another, I think one more Def Dread if I want to run Gospel Thraka supplement at a larger point cost. It comes with a Pain Boy, which I could use a Pain Boy. More knobs, as I said, I'm going to have to think about it. Maybe I'll just order a Pain Boy. Or, no, sorry, I should just order. The first thing I'm going to do is order Mad Dog Kratznik. Because I need him to complete the Council of the Wall. And then you definitely, because it has to be one giant squad, right? The Council of the Wall. So you definitely have to get them a vehicle to get across the table, because they're going to be shot down or dead before you even get them. The cool part is you can walk return. So Gospel Thraka has a walking 2-up save the entire game. It's pretty cool. He'll definitely stay alive. Provided he's not hit with like a D weapon. Mm-hmm. Cool. Another one done. I should have probably painted more blue on these guys. Maybe we'll go back after. Yeah, we're 11 minutes in. Yeah, it's been an interesting time. I've been okay lately. Well, some ups and downs, Things are good on the whole. I think they're good on average. A friend of the family recently passed away, but yeah, it really sucked. Obviously, I kind of saw it coming because she was dying for a little while. Not a very long time though, but she knew that she had limited time. Basically, she drank herself to death, which is really unfortunate. Yeah. I probably shouldn't keep talking about this. This is kind of a depressing topic for Painting with Jay. But yeah, it was very unfortunate. She wasn't that old, so that really hurt. The last time I saw her was, I think, at my wedding. But yeah. But let's switch topics. I don't want this to be a depressing Painting with Jay. Let's keep it more positive. What else is new and exciting? I'm excited for Gen Con coming up. What else have I done? I saw a movie. I saw Captain America Winter Soldier a couple times. It was pretty good. One time with my buddy Andy, I wanted to catch up with him before he moves. He's moving to San Francisco. He'll have a good time. I hope he has a really good time in San Francisco. Yeah. Yeah, life is good. I'm just working a lot, and I'm getting back in. As I said, getting back into the swing of things, and that's what makes me happy. When I want to paint, life's good. You know, that to me is a sign, because painting to me is my refuge and my fun, and I just didn't want to do it for a while. I really didn't, to be honest. It was hard, because this is where I do all my thinking, and my meditating basically, and it was hard. But the fact that I'm doing it and I want to and I'm enjoying this is a really good sign to me. It makes me very happy, because it takes a little time, but then life gets back. We're all in equilibriums, and sometimes it just takes a little while to get back into the swing of things. It really does. I love summer shows, and they're all starting up soon. So that makes me happy as well. It's summertime. My favorite show is American Ninja Warrior. So. But yeah, I really love American Ninja Warrior. I'm getting in better shape, and that's really making me happy too. I love watching American Ninja Warrior. Those people are crazy athletes, and I love it. It motivates me to get in better shape. American Ninja Warrior. Yeah, I really like it. What else should I paint here? This guy. Yeah. Painting orcs is fun. I love painting orcs. And I know my goal this year was to originally have all my models painted, but probably about July, but that ain't gonna happen. But I've still put a dent in it. Like last week I painted 8 Def Coptas. I finished up 8 Def Coptas. I didn't do it with Painting with Jay, because I was just painting late one night and did it, and then it was done. And so that was really good. So 8 Def Coptas, and after I finished these knobs and the Burna Boys, it's like 20 something models. So if I do that over a couple weeks, that's 25 less models that I have to paint, and that's pretty sweet. Yeah. Summer's here. That's really awesome. The summer concert series is going to start soon at Peterborough. Peterborough is such what I really love about Peterborough. I never regretted moving to Peterborough. I really didn't, because it's such a nice place to do stuff in the summertime. You can go walking and camping, and it's very it's like a lake. Not lake. It's a almost like a cottage area, almost. So there's always tons to do in the summertime, and it's great. So I'm gonna keep busy. This summer. I'm not gonna drive as much. I'm gonna try to cut down on my driving, because I don't want to drive my car to death. My goal is to, for my car to survive till it's done being paid for, which it should. I take good care of it, but I'm starting to be a little more conscious about driving it everywhere. So I do motorcycle sometimes for work. It's cool. What else is new and exciting? Yeah, not a whole lot. There was something else I wanted to talk about today. Maybe I'll remember it after. Obviously, I'm going to keep hyping Patreon, because the only way that I'm going to be able to get my free content still flowing, though it's really starting to come back, I agree, it's through my Patreon support. And so plus I'm giving credit where credit's due. These people have been supporting me for a long time, so now at the end of any free content, other than, as I said, at the end of any free content except for Miniature Painting 101s, will be the credits for my Patreon people. And that, I think, is just a fair recognition of them, Obviously, I'm nowhere without my fans in general, and I'm very appreciative of that, but the Patreon people support. So, and if you don't want to, no problem. I'm not offended or anything. I need support. And if you're not, just watch my content. Subscribe, watch, share, comment. It's all good. I gotta film a Q&J. That's what I definitely got. Maybe I'll film that tonight after work. Right now I'm just painting, and I'm heading to work in about 45 minutes. So this won't be the longest painting with Jay. I need to get into the house and change after this. But that's okay. We're already 20 minutes in, so. Which is cool. Look at this. These guys are coming. I really love these. As I said, I took the big shooting arm. I tried to make each one more unique. So this one has like 2 giant axes. I did a couple of the custom claws with swords and the big shooter guns. It made me feel good to customize my boys. So. And I've never really done that. I really should get more into orcifying stuff and building my own custom stuff. You know? I really should. That would be a really cool idea. No, I'll make his metal. My summer plans are just keep working, keep cleaning. Every week, I keep throwing out more and more stuff out of my house, and that makes me feel really good. I really love. It's been very therapeutic, I find. If you're in a situation like me, throw out stuff. Because you don't need a lot of stuff. And it's obviously donate what you can and stuff. I mean, but like I've been throwing out tons of old things that I wouldn't use, that I can't donate. And it feels really good. It feels really good. Yeah. Because I don't produce that much garbage. So at the end of the garbage week, I just simply clean out a room at a time. And basically my house is getting to the point now where almost all the rooms are done. And I need a larger brush for this. Each room is starting to look really nice. So, and it's nice. It gets, it gets your mind off things, and you relax, and it's all good. Yeah, feels really good. Perfect. I may pick up that new Horde's War Machine book. I might. We'll see. I'm really debating about it, because there's a new edition coming out soon. And it'd be nice to have it. I really think it'd be nice to have that book and maybe do a review. We'll see. There hasn't been a new edition, or I guess when was the last thing? The newest codex would have been, I guess, the new WoG Gospel supplement, or Death in the Skies, or something like that. It was the Space Marine one. But there hasn't been a new real solid codex in a while, so we'll see if one happens soon. Tyranids and Astra Militarum have to soon. I'm betting that they're setting themselves up for a new edition. We'll see. I really hope that they don't, because the 2-year cycle on editions is really costly. To learn. Plus, I haven't even finished. I really got to finish my How to Play 40K series. I never finished it. So maybe I'll finish it, and then the next week it will have, like, a new edition will come out, but it'll be done. Then the question is, should I do a new one? Probably. How to Play 8th edition. Maybe I'll do that. Who knows? Do I have the time anyway? Raptors. I'm watching a little bit of basketball. I was going to say football for a second. I'm watching a bit of basketball because Raptors got pretty far in the playoffs, which was cool. I'm happy for them. They didn't win. They lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, but it was a great season, right? They've never even made it to the Eastern Conference Finals before. So, as far as they ever made it. And you can't really get mad at them for that. They could have won. It was a close series. I think it was in 6 games, so And of course, the NBA is happy because they have their epic rematch. Cavaliers versus Golden State Warriors. I want to see a Jays game. That's my goal. I'm watching Jays games from home. And they're playing pretty well too. They're in the middle of their division. But the division's really close right now. They're all within like 6 games of each other. And it's way too early to call. Boston has a good team this year. Baltimore was playing good and then they kept losing. Jays are starting to warm up. So. Yeah, I really should have painted more blue on them. But that's okay, I'll paint more blue after. What brush can I use right now? I'm looking for, I need a decent sized brush. No, that's too thin. Maybe this one. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So I'll keep doing this in summer. I'm going to keep doing this painting with Jays, especially now that I'm feeling better about painting. I hope these painting with Jays just keep flowing. So one thing I wanted to talk about today, I just don't remember what it was. I should set an agenda to talk about it. It'd be kind of funny. Today I will talk about this. Yeah, the new Wogoskel supplement, I don't know. It's a little silly. Most things are very expensive and it's just like, hey, you like this unit? Spam it! Wogoskel, that's basically it. So you like Storm Boys? Take 30. So you like Commandos? Take 30. You like Battle Wagons? Take 4 or 5. 4 or 5. It's just like, what? 5 battle wagons? That's like 1,000 points. So, but yeah, I really hope Tyranids get something new eventually. I wonder if they do the new edition, which the early things are starting to call. Maybe they'll be one of the early 8th. I really don't think that GW is going to go end of times on 40k. I hope not. I wish paint this a little cleaner. Maybe I'll have to clean them up a little bit later. It's okay. I'm just painting my normal Orky quality. That'll be looking good in the end. Cool. So this entire video I've covered one color. And I have to leave in 15 minutes. Not too bad. It's nice. I'm getting some work done earlier in the day, so that later in the day if I'm tired, it's already done. I'll probably return and paint these guys a little bit more later. Oh, I probably should. Now, after these Ork boys are done, I'm probably going to start painting my gaming table. That'll probably be the next, several weeks of painting with Jays. Is my gaming table. I don't know how long it's going to take me because it looks incredibly detailed. Incredibly detailed. I got the Citadel City table, and maybe I'll do a vlog on it. I don't think I will. I think just painting with Jays will suffice, but we'll see. Maybe. I'll see. I don't know what I want to do with it. I don't think I'm going to do a painting tutorial because I guess I could. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So much detail on this thing. I want to get the city table up and running because to make better battle reports, I got to have better terrain, right? And once it's done, I'm going to contact my buddy Austin at Death Ray Designs, get some terrain from him. He makes amazing terrain. If you want to go check out laser cut terrain, go check out Austin's Death Ray Designs. I think it's just Death Ray Designs, but I don't say Austin's, but it's by Austin from Brush for Hire. You get some terrain from him. Because I want to start making really nice city battle reports, and I've used my table so much, so I've gotten my money's worth out of my other tabletop, my other my Citadel Realm battle table, but I'll switch between the two in the future. Yeah, coming along. Mm-hmm. I've been taking Spock for daily walks as I normally do, which is a nice way to start the day, taking Spock for a walk around the block. And it's funny, today he was this baby squirrel, really young squirrel, ran out in front of him and scared the crap out of him. I was like, Spock, you're afraid of a baby squirrel. You're not earning any street cred. No street cred for Spock. So he's such a funny little guy. I'm glad I have him. I really am. I couldn't imagine living in my house with absolutely nothing else. I really couldn't. It'd be too lonely. So he's my little buddy. Maybe that little strap, and then maybe done too. Then maybe I'll start with the metallics. Yeah. Ork boys. The funniest thing about orcs, which it's just, there's always that conundrum of what level do you paint horde armies? Because I could paint all the details and have this painted to a higher than tabletop standard, but I have 100 and so many boys, right? And to paint and all that stuff and all the knobs. Maybe for the knobs I could have done it, but I don't know. I just keep mine to a standard, a decent tabletop quality, because that's the thing. There's so many of them, you can't spend 3 hours on a single model, because then you have to have 8 years of your life to paint orcs. That's the thing about orcs. It's like the ever-growing army. You never really have to stop painting or building orcs. So I understand why people just play orcs, because there's always time. You always have more orc boys to paint, and you always have more dudes. And I've been painting orcs. Were my second army getting back into 40k. They were my first army when I got into 40k many years ago, back in Rogue Trader days. I just need to find my. I'm just looking for my. There it is, Lead Belcher. Now it's time to paint some Lead Belcher. I'm gonna paint Lead Belcher for a few minutes, and then we'll call it a day. But yeah, I'm feeling better. I really am. Believe that, people. The last few months have been tough, but many other people I know have had tough last few months, And that's what keeps me in perspective. We all go through difficult times in life. Life is not a cakewalk for most people. Unless you're like the Queen of England or something, It's not. So it's okay, Rough times happen and you get through them. And I have to thank you all, for all your support and comments and everything over the last few months. It's been really helpful as well. But I'm starting to feel back in the groove. I'm getting back in my groove, and that's invaluable. It really is. I feel good again. I'm starting to feel good. I'm obviously still really busy. I'm more busy than I ever have been because I have to work so much. But once I get myself in a slightly better financial situation, I'll cut back on my hours and yeah. And at least right now I'm just taking, the good thing about being single is that you can kind of just do your own thing. Obviously I love being married and stuff, but I the good thing, as I said, I can just paint and watch a TV show. I can do whatever, that's... I'm trying to look on the bright side, obviously, because, the downside is it's lonelier and you don't get to be with someone, but you get to, if I want to paint right now, I can just go out and paint. And not have to worry, I can go paint. And if I've had a busy day, I can do whatever I wish, that's the thing. Pros and cons, trying to look on the bright side of life. Obviously, I'm probably going to date someone again one day. And hopefully, we'll see. Time will tell. Only time. Look at them. Basically, what I do with my orcs is I just hit them with washes after and finish them off. But, what time is it? 5 more minutes. When my phone was off and like, doo-doo, it's over. That'd be cool having these guys done. More knobs. Yay. And the Burna Boys, I'm going to get them done soon too. And then after the Burna Boys, I'll probably paint up like an orc truck to get them across the table. Or battle wagon or something. Because with Burna Boys, you can't really have them on foot. That's the number one mistake people make with Burna Boys, is putting them on foot. Because they die, right? They only have, they don't have a good armor save. So if I was an opponent and I saw Burna Boys walking across the table, I'd be like, yeah, they're dead. I'm not letting them get near me to do all their flamer templates. Especially when a vehicle where you can just place one and multiply it by a bunch. You never want to have them on foot. That's a huge mistake. So don't ever have them on foot. Look at him. I'll just fix that up right there. Yeah, good. A little too heavy. Good. Look how much work we've gotten done. That's what I love. You just take an hour of your time, sit down, ramble, paint along with me, and work gets done. Man. Let's see. I haven't seen X-Men yet. I wanted to go see X-Men last weekend, but I just didn't have the time. But apparently people just hate it. It's not getting very favorable reviews. Which, I know you shouldn't go on what reviews say, but the reviews seem to be consistent. That, because X-Men Days of Future Past was a really good movie. Even the road cut was good. But apparently they cut too much of each character. Too many characters, and they didn't focus enough on any of them to make it worthwhile. So we'll see. I'm going to go see it probably. What comes out this weekend? This one's the Pop Star movie. And let's see. I think Angry Birds was last weekend, or 2 weekends ago. What movie comes out this weekend? There's Pop Star. There's something else. I forget. I don't remember. Either way, it's a good time for summer movies. Summer movies are fun. There's fun, energetic. Oh, Ninja Turtles. That's what I was thinking of. Ninja Turtles comes out. I'll probably go see it. I told my friend Sam that I'm going to drag her to it. Opening day. And that we're going to buy the, I'm going to buy for her the Ninja Turtle 3D goggles. We watched Ninja Turtles 1 years ago together, and I figured we have to keep the tradition, right? That'd be fun. So I'm going to drag her to Ninja Turtles 2. That movie looks terrible, but it has Casey Jones in it. It's the same guy from Arrow. Plays Casey Jones, so that would be cool. They got a Canadian. I respect that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Gen Con's coming up. It's going to be a good summer. I really think so. Just a summer of relaxing, getting my life in gear. Maybe I'll go on a date. We'll see. Painting some Ork Nobs. You know, that's a great day. Burna Boys. I've never had Burna Boys. I've never used Def Coptas in a battle report. It's my first time using Def Coptas this week. Oh, you know what that means? It's time to go. But yeah, I'll clean up these guys a little after. Do a couple more colors. Hit them with shade. Maybe probably another hour or two painting them. Between the 6 guys. Probably another hour and I'd be done. Which means I could either save it for next week's painting with Jay, which I don't think so. I think by that point I'll be on my Burna Boys. Because I don't want to stop. I'm in a good mood right now for painting, and I'm in a good streak. I don't want to stop right now because then you take advantage of these times where you're in the mood to paint. You know, you go through lulls and good stuff. So let's end here. So that concludes another painting with Jay. I really hope you got some stuff done, had a good time. You know, maybe your models are coming along just as much as mine. And as always, thank you so much for all you Patreon subscribers. As you can see, their names around there or there. And thank you all you Patreon subscribers for supporting my videos. It really means a lot. If you want to help support it, check out the link in the description below to support my Patreon campaign. But thank you as always for painting along with me, listening to me ramble, and painting your models well too. Stay tuned for more videos. Until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting with me.